want to become an investor, you want to catch catalysts and take good investments, check out NotifyMeEdgar.com. I've created this startup. What this startup does is it filters out positive and negative catalysts from SEC filings, and you will get the email as soon as the catalyst you have purchased is mentioned or occurs within an SEC filing. Let's go over to get alerts. So you have three types of subscriptions, and these are the filings, which are basically most of the relevant filings that we cover. So 8K report, we cover earnings releases, phase 1, 2, 3 trial approvals, completions, and FDA approval, mergers, acquisitions, executive departures, dividend declarations, and earning releases. These are all catalysts. 4 of these catalysts are, positive, and they can be both negative. Looking at earnings releases, dividend declaration, and executive departure, they can be both, depending on the financial state of the company, the amount of dividends it pays out. Then you have these two, which are mostly always positive, right? FDA approval, which is very well known across the finance investment scene, and you have mergers and acquisitions, which also usually signifies a strong future for the company. Moving on, we have the quarterly and annually reports. Here we look for liquidity risk mention, going concern warning, and share buyback program. Both of these are negative catalysts, and in which you can capitalize by shorting the stock. And share buyback program, that's a positive catalyst when the company repurchases shares in the market. Moving on, you have Form 4s. Here we have insider buying, more than 100,000. That's what we have put so far. Can also increase the value, decrease the value according to customer needs. Then we have option grants. Option grants, I still have to specify these are option grants that vest immediately. This is something we've worked very hard for, and it usually there is some cases where executives do know that the company is gonna have some positive news in the future, or there's gonna be a deal occurring, and they issue stock options to themselves, the executives, and they capitalize on the price action. And this is something we've tested, and there is one of these, I would say monthly, where you would need to look yourself and filter through all the option grants, because they don't come very often, and you can find a very, very good buy opportunity. Same with restricted stock options, and they also vest immediately, not under 30 days. This is something I'll fix. And this is also a very good buy opportunity. Further on, you have proxy statements. This is just changes in the structure of the company. You need to look through them and kind of analyze how you would like to interpret them. And then you have S1 offering, secondary offering, and this can also both be positive and negative catalyst. You have to look at dilution. You have to look at maybe as soon as there's an offering, the price usually does go up, and then starts to plummet down as investors who have held previously capitalize by selling their shares. So how does our service look like, right? So you subscribe, you either choose one catalyst, you can choose a whole filing where you will have all catalysts unlocked, or you get the premium, which not only you have all catalysts and all filings, but you also have a daily momentum report. This report, which I've created, looks over at all of the stocks, companies 24/7, and it finds those daily which have had the highest amount of catalysts that are split, so positive catalysts in the past 30 days, with at least one needing to be in the last 48 hours. And there's a positive momentum and a negative momentum, which is the same for the negative catalysts. So the companies which have the most negative catalysts in a span of 30 days, with the last one needing to be 48 hours or earlier, right? So this lets you kind of look at stocks who might have mergers, acquisitions um, occurring in the last 48 hours, with maybe an insider buying in the last 20 days, or stock options being passed down in the last 20 days. So it kind of gives you a wider look of the company. You can see 20 days ago, as an example, I'm saying 20 days ago, the executives issued stock options vesting immediately, and just 20 days later there has been a merger and acquisition, so you can also capitalize on that. These emails are sent to you within 1 to 2 minutes of them being put out, so you would basically be the first one to receiving this information, as you don't have to look through it. Therefore, you can also instantly capitalize. Next step is I'm going to go and show you how those emails look. I apologize for how my Gmail is structured. I just have this lag. But yeah, as you can see, there is, of course, always going to be some noise, especially with earnings releases and dividend declarations, which there are a lot daily, right? So you can also message us saying, even if you have the premium subscription, I'm not interested in earnings release. Could I please get kind of cut out, or could you leave the earnings releases so I don't get those emails, so I don't have that much noise, correct? So yeah, we can look at, for example, merger and acquisition, right? Details. DNOW MRC announced a definitive merger agreement, right? As soon as this 8K filing comes out, you get the email. How can you capitalize? First, I would suggest you to view the filing yourself and look over it. So not only that, you have second quarter results in this 8K. You have sales reported, an increase, uh, gross profit also increasing, net income 13 million, and yeah, you can basically see the financial state of the company, as well as the merger agreement with the other company. What can you do now is you can capitalize on this, right? So two companies merged. Let me just read through this real quick. Okay, so let's check. Let's check MRC Global, right? Okay, so this filing occurred 3 hours ago, 6:18 p.m. So right now that is not my time. Let's go to 6:18 p.m. So yeah, as you can see, there hasn't been any move since the merger. Let's check the other firm that's involved in the merger, DNOW. But yeah, as you can see also, after the merger was mentioned, there was no significant move yet. Okay, let's check with other other more kind of old filings we have. Something from yesterday. So you can see there's secondary offerings. Let's see. Now this company filed the S1 for an IPO. That is not a secondary offering. There you go, that's a secondary offering. BHLL. BHLL. There is no data. Okay. It's probably ODYY. Okay, well, this company filed a secondary offering at 5 a.m., which is this company has weird hours for some reason. But yeah, you get the point, basically. These are positive and negative catalysts. I'm gonna go back a little more. So maybe I can show you a better example, because this is all very recent. Okay, it's loading. My internet is not the best. I wish I could show you something better, but you get the point. We're also actively trying to improve the... Okay, here you have insider buys. Not all filings and catalysts are affected immediately. As you can see, this person acquired 30,000 shares at $4 a piece, having a total of 60,000 shares. Basically, the person acquired half of the shares he or she had previously in one transaction of the stock XRX, right? Okay, how can we analyze the stock? This stock, since April, has had a rally up, and it's at its lowest point. And by my investment experience, not only me, the person who has in fact bought shares is a part of the company, right? And that is actually the director, relationship of reporting person to issuer. Yeah, so the director of the company purchased 30,000 shares of the stock at a visibly good point, as you can see just by also looking at the charts. So yeah, the director has kind of a good view as he manages the firm on the future. So he purchased the stock, which is again a good indicator that you might as well purchase the stock, because directors of companies, right, they kind of have a better vision than an outsider of what's going to happen, of deals, of what they're going to do in the future. So they might know that the stock price is going to go and climb up, so they try to capitalize on that. So yeah, some catalysts are less kind of eventful in a way, but yeah, some of them are really, really good, and you should definitely get this service if you're an investor, right? So for example, this is already August 4th, and these are stock options that do not vest immediately. I changed this as there's just too much noise, and a lot of these stocks are as you can see, this option vested immediately, right? These are one of those prime examples, prime kind of finds that you need to look for. So security was at 0.14, 250,000, and the person had 1.5 million, so they bought around 10% of what they had previously, and the option vested immediately, so they could immediately exercise or sell the stock, right? Again, this can mean two things, right? They either want to cash out quickly, or they kind of do have a very positive forward-looking view. They know what's going to happen with the stock price. So you have to kind of look at it both ways, because if they want to get liquid and they want to sell the shares as soon as they vest, it's not really going to impact the market that much, right? If the market, you need to look at the float, and if the securities is only 0.1, that's not that much. So on the downside, it wouldn't affect you that much, right? But and also you have to see how many of these. If there's like 10 vested immediately, 10 people who were granted stock options to vest immediately, then it is kind of a little bit also of a negative catalyst that you have to look out for, right? But here in this case, you need to go and look through it yourself. But from my expertise, this is, I think, a positive catalyst. I mean, I didn't check if there was other Form 4s, right? But this is a pretty, oh no, it's not a recent stock, but so they were granted at an exercise price of 0.1. It's at 0.5 now, and they were granted not too long ago, right? On April 3rd. Oh, my apologies, I did not look at the date. This was only reported now, which is, kind of interesting. It was reported months after it was exercised. As it vested immediately, it was exercised in April. Was it exercised now? No, because that was the transaction date. They're just reporting it now that they were given stock. So that was in the April. Yeah, they were granted. As you can see, this is a little bit of a dump situation. On the 4th of April, they were granted at the price of 0.148. Stock fell 40%, likely due to them exercising it right away and not even reporting it, which is illegal and could be punished by the SEC. RNGE. First, I want to check if they were actually not well, if they were this is not where I usually go. Full text search, yeah. RNG. So that was April. There you go. This is the report for April. Three different people, and they're still reporting. Yeah, that was an old filing. But yeah, as you can see, they gave out stock options vesting immediately, and the insiders sold and the stock fell 40%. So, like I said, that was 3 people at once. And they reported it at in the 8th of April, which is already after the stock climbed back up. So this is sketchy. You really have to look through these filings. We just provide you with the kind of part of the knowledge. You have to yourself look through all of it and guarantee that you are making the right decision when it comes to an investment. But yeah, that's basically it with our service. We also have a product sample. If you wanna get free trial alerts for phase 3, trial is being completed. This occurs not too often. It's like maybe I would say one every 3 days on average. But yeah, you really have to look through them yourself. So if you're interested, head over to NotifyMeEdgar, notifymedgar.com, and get the sample. Or if it would help your investing, you can also get catalysts from us. And if you are a firm or a standard investor or a personal private investor and need to automate your process of investing, if you're a fundamental trader, you can request a custom search for us, and we'll see if we are able to provide you with a software code for what you want to optimize in your investing, whether that's you searching through filings directly, you looking for specific things. We can do that for you. You just have to contact us in our website in the optimized research tab. So yeah, thank you.